Now we have a Marius in the call, and Marius is going to talk about how to mask the sensitive data field with a column level security. So over to you, Marius.
Thank you, Ambesh. Yeah, this feature got already public preview last year, but it will become available in the current Wave updates. And I've used this in the past to try it out. Some mixed feelings about it, but I will show you. So first up, you will need a masking rule, which is just a component in Power Apps. And so here you specify a regular expression and a masking character, and it will mask data in a field. Let me swap over here. In a field that you specify with column security. So then I select the masking rule over here, and it will be applied. So let's take a look at the masking rule. There's a link here which brings you to the .NET regular expressions. I needed this reference, and I can tell you as a quick tip that the GitHub Copilot does quite a good job with generating regular expressions. If you asked him, hey, I need a .NET regular expression for, and then X, Y, Z, whatever your use case is. And for example, these grouping constructs with the look behind, I needed to only show the first 4 characters, and you would use look ahead if you only wanted to show the last 4 characters, for example. You have such use cases in, for example, with online e-commerce. You usually know when the payment method is shown, then you only see like the last 2 or last 4 digits of your IBAN number. So yeah, that's a use case for this. And what else is good in this masking rule here? You can see I can enter here a value, and then I save, and then you see down here. Then you see down here the masked value, because of course I'm not good at regular expressions. I first tried with 4 characters, and this wouldn't work. And I saw then, okay, you only get the 1, 2, 3, and I need the 4th character. So it needs to be a look behind by 5 characters. So let's then hop over. I already showed you this. So this is available for column security on text fields, and then you apply the masking rule. Then we have the column security profile. So that is also known already from, it has always been there with column security. There's a new option, read unmasked. I have this not allowed here, but you can enable this for single record or for a list. So if you have bulk export. I don't need to set this, by the way, because I'm an administrator. So system administrators in the past, they always saw the full content of column security fields. And this is still true with the masking. So you can still unmask data even though you don't have the permissions if you are a system administrator. Otherwise, of course, the column security profile applies. So next up, something that was not added for me automatically is the attribute masking rule. And if we take a look at this attribute masking rule, so basically this is the connection between our field, in the entity, sorry, this is the attribute, the column, and the masking rule. So what I applied over here, this is basically as data, this is the attribute masking rule. Was not included for me in the solution, but you can include it manually. So then let's take a look at the output. I have it right here. So let's try this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And on save, not on leaving the field, on save, it will be masked. And actually it is masked not because of the save, but it's when I retrieve the record. So on save, there's a refresh happening, and I get the new data from the entity, and then I get it in a masked way. Let's have a quick look at the OData API. You see right here, I get a masked value back. So this does not only apply to forms, this applies everywhere, even to the backend. But there is a way to get around it. Right now, this way looks like this. You have this this parameter unmasked data true, and I probably need to reload this here. Then we see the unmasked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is good, but there are some shortcomings still. So I really like the fact that this covers the middle ground. Like, you wanted to allow users to read the column security field because they need to verify that the correct data is in there. But they saw everything. So if someone looked over your shoulder, right, and this is, I don't know, critical data, or you shared the screen, I had this with, with Teams, you share the screen and suddenly you leak your secret. So this is much better here. But also, you have no good ways around it currently. So you have this unmasking, okay, but you have no option on the form. And this is even documented here as the known limitations. But also there is this problem, what if so usually when we enter data, we need it somewhere. And maybe this data you need in a Power Automate. And right now you would read it as the must value. So you need to unmask it. And I haven't looked it up yet because I didn't have the requirement, but I would advise you to check if you have this as a use case and you gather the requirements for this field. Think about where would you read that data, and then Google or ask Copilot how to read it with that technology that you are going to use. Because, yeah, sure, for example, with the JavaScript, it would be easy. You just put this to the API. But with Power Automate, you don't have that freedom to just say, yeah, I want another query parameter called unmasked data equals true. That's not, yeah, that's not in there. So yeah, that's something to think about, and we will see when the full documentation is there. And for example, all this preview notes and so on are gone from the documentation, how this will be handled. Thanks for listening, and see you soon.
Thank you so much, Marius, for the insightful information.